What's up, everyone? It's time for another Western film review. So this is my second last one. I have one more to do next, and then we'll move on to something else. But for now, this is Pale Rider I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, it's released by Warner Brothers June 28th, 1985. It stars Clint Eastwood, and it was written by Michael uh, Outlive and Dennis Serlock, and produced and directed by Clint Eastwood himself, who, if you're not familiar with him, he's the one who done the Dirty Harry films, Unforgiven, A Fistful of Dollars, that trilogy, Million Dollar Baby, and a whole pile of other big films. And a lot of good dramas and stuff. I've talked about a couple of his films here on the channel. So, yeah, and this had a box office earnings of $41.4 million. So Pale Rider is it's basically there's a greedy what do you call it, city guy, and he wants to move in on a settler community with some of his like hooligans, and try to scare them off to take over the mining where they're finding gold and stuff in this one community in the mountains. And but then they community fights back, and then you meet Preacher, played by Clint Eastwood. He's more of like a bounty hunter almost type of character, and he helps the settlers work to come up and try to negotiate with the guys trying to take over. And when that doesn't go well, he goes and tries to help defend the defend their land. And then but when that conflict arises, the richer guy calls in his sheriff, and he goes in and goes to take out the Preacher and his gang of misfits trying to stop him. This is an interesting, more of a drama film than an action movie, Western film, and I love the cinematography in this. It was so cool seeing the Western town in the mountains and stuff. I think this was mainly shot in Alberta, if I remember correctly, and it's so beautifully shot and everything. The cinematography did a really good job. Acting's fantastic in this. A lot of Clint Eastwood movies, the acting is really good, and yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's been doing westerns forever, so this is definitely another good one. And they definitely do a good job at making it a little bit different than what we've seen time and time again with the mountain of westerns that came out in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and even 60s. And they definitely took the inspiration of that and put it more into a little more eventful story. And yeah, just even like the negotiation scenes in this film are so intense and so well portrayed that yeah, the it's really believable, and it really makes you want to root for the good guys in this film. It's definitely, this was a common thing back in like the 1800s and stuff, so it was cool to see. I like watching westerns where it's not always in a desert setting, because I know in the States that's like a common thing. But yeah, for these like later ones out of like the 60s era and stuff, it's more mountain ranges and different valleys and stuff, and adds a little more color and texture to the film, and overall it makes it more of a good dynamics for the feature. And yeah, just the way like the mountain ranges setting, it makes it certain scenes like makes it a little more bleak, and you can feel a little bit more of the despair, especially in the first bit when the settlers are getting overrun by this rich corporate guy, and he's basically taking it. It reminded me a lot of what was it called? Another film, but I can't remember off the top of my head, of an oil rig. Oh, There Will Be Blood, of an oil rig monopoly running dude who tries to take over an independent one and stuff. It's sort of reminded me of that, but this one definitely has a lot more excitement involved. There's some really good gun fight scenes, and they capture really more of like the old Western gunfights really well in this film, and it works real well in that setting. And yeah, overall, the music, everything I really like. It's top notch in my opinion. Pale Rider was quite a good film. This is my first time seeing it, and I've really enjoyed it. So, yeah, so I don't really have any negative things to say about this. So I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5. I was pretty surprised. Most of the westerns I've reviewed are pretty good, and yeah, it's definitely a really good film, and you should check it out if you haven't seen it. The trailer is linked down below, like always. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen it, or if you just want to relive it, it's linked down below. But yeah, Pale Rider, really good movie. Really loved it, and yeah, so. But also make sure you check out my Instagram that's linked down below where I post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my stories. I have the film time hashtag and subgenre film in a hashtag so you're aware of it. Also, my Letterbox is linked down below. You can also go there to check out what's coming up because I always post the latest film that I'm watching, the first star rating of it on there. So follow me on Instagram or Letterbox to stay in the loop. Like this video, share it so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below, and if there's any westerns or any other films that you want to hear my opinions on, comment those down below too. I'll try my hardest to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And yeah, and make sure you subscribe because I got one more western and a whole pile of other weird stuff to talk about after that. So definitely got a lot of interesting videos coming up, and a lot of opinions on some popular ones and a lot of obscure ones coming up. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. So hopefully you find something either weird and obscure that you never thought of checking out together, or so you can hear my opinions on some popular stuff. It's all good. So make sure you subscribe. Yeah, definitely check out Pale Rider. It is absolutely a really good film. I wanted to make this video just so, yeah, that more people check this one out and relive it. It was really well done. One of the best westerns I've seen. So definitely a good one. So yeah, that's it for this one. Watch out for all those money hungry tycoons trying to take over your land, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review, which is one more western, and then we'll move on to something else. But yeah, definitely a really good film. So till the next one, cheers.